Okay, get this door closed and latched. And we want to make sure the rotor brake is turned off, or the rotors aren't going to move, but the engine is going to keep trying to move them, and that would get ugly quickly. Okay, mixture full rich. Let's make the cyclic as clear. That's good. And we want to lock that in place. That's what keeps the engine running. And now we're going to turn on the battery and external lights, and that'll tell anybody standing around that we're getting ready to start up. Otherwise you get kind of a ninja effect on their head. Now, let's see. Come on. There it goes. Alternator on, so we're making electricity, not just burning it. That should go off in just a couple seconds, I think. But actually we want to get the clutch engaged because we want to start the later. The rotor's going. Oh, they're already going. Never mind, go ahead and turn that on then. Uh-oh. There we go. There, okay. Now we just have to wait for them to spin up. They gotta kind of catch up with the engine. There, they've caught up with the engine. And as soon as they get settled down, that should go off. And once that goes off, we're ready to fly. It's supposed to take like a minute and a half. But we don't have a lot of time. It's getting dark. It's probably the last flight of the night, first of the night, last of the day. Okay, we're waiting. Just someone impatiently. So while we have this moment, let me tell you. Oh, there it went. Good. That was going to be boring. Okay, here we go. Okay. There's the Embarcadero down that away, and right over there is Pier 39. And we'll swing by that on the way back. But for now, we're going to fly out to Alcatraz Island. And I guess as a tour guide, I'm supposed to have some hard things to say about Alcatraz, but realistically, who has not heard of it? Everything you ever need to know about Alcatraz, you've already learned from Hollywood. Such important facts as there's only one person ever to escape, and his name's Clint Eastwood. But it is a pretty neat place. I went out there once. It must have been, it had to be early 1980s. I think it was 1984. I was between Korea and Germany while I was in the Air Force, and went out there with a friend. And it's pretty neat. Back then, it wasn't the big ordeal it is now. You didn't need reservations. We walked up and got on a boat. There were 2 boats running, so there was no more than 1 or 2 groups on the island at the same time, maybe 3 boats. I mean, it wasn't crowded is my point. Didn't need reservations. I don't even remember it being expensive. So we came out here, and it was National Park Rangers back then. It may still be for all I know, but every time I see it, it looks very commercialized, at least on the wharf. But anyway, it is pretty neat. It's a prison, so you know there's cells and things like that. Not just any prison, I guess. It's notorious. One thing they did show us as a group, they brought us all into, it was a rather large cell. I remember there were probably 6 or 8 of us in there. And it was one of the isolation cells, so like when they were in solitary. And apparently there would be a lot of time spent in the dark. They would turn off the lights and they'd be in there completely, almost like in a sensory deprivation kind of thing. No light at all. And for us to get the full effect of that, they closed the door and turned off the lights. And it was very, very dark, and it really did send a message. And it was apparently a message that some of the people in the cell with me wanted to share with others. So they started taking flash pictures. And I mean, that's back when you had to get film developed, you know. I mean, you didn't waste pictures. And, I mean, they're going to take that home and show it to them, and they're going to see a guy, you know, picking his nose because he thinks it's dark. And and they're going to say, well, you really had to be there. I mean, you can't tell from the picture, but it was really dark. So that's my big memory of Alcatraz Island. But there it is, for your viewing pleasure. Now there's your Golden Gate Bridge, and it's weather like this, these evenings like this, where you understand why they call it the Golden Gate Bridge. I always thought it was because it was painted brown, or kind of not brown, but rust, almost the color you would most associate with Rust-Oleum. So there it is, like primer brown. But I think they may have been looking more for You know, they may have called it the Golden Gate before there was a bridge, for all I know. Because I mean, look at it. The sky is golden. It's the opening to a bay. It's very much a gate. Particularly, it was fortified in 1776. The Presidio. Well, it's the Presidio of San Francisco. It's just called the Presidio these days, but Presidio is actually the Spanish word for fort or jail or something like that. So the official name of the place was the Presidio of San Francisco, and it was there to defend against New Spain, which I believe became Mexico. Actually, it belonged to Mexico at some point, but we got it back from them. Of course, in California, you got a lot of not sure what word I want to use, but you know, hey, let's give land back to Mexico. Well, they don't ever seem to get around to giving one, not to give away the Presidio. They want, well, let's give Orange County or just something out in the middle of nowhere, some desert. But no, Presidio we're going to keep. We like that. I've never been. All the times I've been to San Francisco, I never quite got this far west. I never got to visit any of this stuff, which is a shame. Would like to have seen Coit Tower too. We'll get to Coit Tower. Would like to have seen this fort, assuming this one here under the bridge. Assuming it's part of the park system or there's some kind of tour. I never really looked it up. I can assume it to be pretty much related with the Presidio, I'm sorry, the Presidio of San Francisco. Never looked it up. Along here you start to see this, that's the Presidio area, which is now big. I'm sure it's mixed use, but there's parks and trails and things of that nature. And I don't know, it's a big park, it's probably a very crowded park. I'm not sure I would have really needed to see it. I've seen lots of parks, and if I was going to really want to see a park, it would be something like Rocky Mountain Park. So, I don't know, just for inclusion, I guess I could have tried it at least once. So we'll come back down the coast, now you start to see the city. This is not the pretty side of the city, this isn't its best side. The waterfront is its best side. But we'll go across this little music center up here. I never knew what this was either. I had to look this up as I started flying around down here. Some kind of music center. I haven't been there, but I did go to a concert recently in Boulder at the Red Rocks, and that's a music center that is just phenomenal place if you ever get a chance to go. It's wonderful. This looks like it could have been interesting. It's quite extravagant. That's California, Cool Rush kind of thing. There's a marina that does not have a sea lion problem, so their rents have gone up accordingly. I can't imagine what one of those costs. I mean, a 300 square foot apartment is what, $3,000-4,000 a month? One of those must cost an absolute fortune. I mean, I bet the boat costs less than the rental on those piers, docks, or whatever the hell they are. There's the Nautical Museum, Maritime Museum. And a little bay that they built. And then there's a sailing ship here. I always thought this was a frigate. I always thought it was a frigate, but it's not. It's a square rigger. It's actually a full rigger, which is a 3-mast or greater square rigger, which is a type of rigging the sails, way of rigging the sails. And it's a metal hull, which is interesting, which probably makes it easier to preserve. And then the thing that looks kind of like a paddle wheel steamboat, but not very much, is the Eureka, which is obviously an old 1890 era paddle boat. This modern warship here shouldn't be here. This is taking the place of the SS Jeremiah O'Brien, which was a victory ship in World War II. Did 11 cruises across the world and flew our ship for a long, long time. And I've actually toured on that. That's a pretty neat tour. And what's funny is there's hardly anybody on it, as opposed to Fisherman's Wharf, where they're all sitting in long lines to buy ceramic dolphins. This is the United States. That's the word I'm looking for. Submarine. World War II submarine. The Papadito, I think it's called. I'm not very good with the name of it. And I've not toured that one. And I've looked on their website, and they say they get something like 15,000 people a year through that thing, which is unbelievable because we have one in Cleveland. I don't live in Cleveland, but I can fly up there pretty easily. I got a little airplane I fly up there, and they have the USS Cod, which is also a World War II United States submarine that you can tour through. And you really want to be one of like 5 people in that thing. They're just so tiny. So I imagine a tour on that thing. They must just put them in a single file line and walk them through or something, because there's just literally, not literally, but very little room, and it boggles to mind that they'd have like 40 or 50 guys in one of those things at one time. It's just amazing. And there's Fisherman's Wharf as the tourists know it. And of course, every time I got out to San Francisco, I'd make a point of walking up the Embarcadero early in the morning. Of course, I was the only one walking. A lot of people run, joggers, runners, whatever you call them, up and down the Embarcadero. And it's such a nice walk. And I'd come out on some of these piers just to poke around and see what's going on. So I was there during the America's Cup, so the Oracle sailboat catamaran was out there. I got to see that up close. It was just parked near one of these piers. And actually I saw it later in the day out in the bay, out on our practice sail, which was great neat. That might have been the trip when I was staying in Oakland. I've only stayed in Oakland once or twice. So now you get to that kind of the nicer looking part of the, not nicer looking, but the more well-known front of San Francisco downtown. And I came here a lot for business. I've probably been out here a dozen times or so. And if I was to come up here to the port of San Francisco and fly down Market Street, I would get to Market and Post. And the building on the corner of Post, it's number 1 Post Street, is the corporate headquarters that I used to go to when I come out here for business. And it's actually modeled in here. It's kind of hard to get to because you got to get down through the buildings, and I wouldn't do that on a tour. I wouldn't do it on a dare. So here's the port of San Francisco, really neat place. People commute over from Oakland. The time I stayed in Oakland, I came over with the morning commuters. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. My commute sucks. It's traffic, it's driving, it's 45 minutes on a good day. They get to ride out over in this ferry boat. I mean, it was cold, windy, and everything, but I just ate it up. I sat out on the deck. They were all sitting inside reading newspapers and drinking coffee because it was routine to them, and you can get used to just about anything. I thought it was a neat place. You get into the port here, and it's just what you would think. Most of their inbound traffic is in the morning. People going to work, so it's just full of coffee shops and bakeries and just really fragrant places like that. I really liked that going through there. And here's where I'd start to walk up the Embarcadero. Whoops, fell all of my helicopter. Gotta fix that right quick. There we go. I'd walk up along here, stay out of the way of the runners. And every now, I think I've been out on all of these piers at one point or another, just the ones that you could walk out on. And they're really just loading docks. There's nothing fancy about them, although there's some businesses built into them. And of course that Oracle, the America's Cup boat was here. That's pretty neat. And there's Coit Tower up on top of Telegraph Hill. I read the history of Telegraph Hill at one point, why it's called that. Something to do with being the highest point. Everybody could see it, so if there were messages that needed to be flashed, that's where they'd flash it from. I also thought the tower had something to do with that, but it didn't, or doesn't. That was built in 1933. The Coit Tower, C-O-I-T. It's a nice deco-looking place, and I imagine that's another thing I wish I'd have gone to see. I imagine it's got some nice murals, and I really like that 1930s Art Deco style stuff. I like that a lot. I'd like to have gone and seen that. That'll never happen now. So, let's see. We're going to come back up here and land. Pier 39, here's the ferry going in. We'll want to watch me run into him on the way out. And we'll fly over to Sea Lions. Get you a nice look at the Sea Lions. Not much to see. We're down low enough that you can smell them, which is no tree. I looked up where they came from, because I'd been here, like I mentioned, I think, the time I went out to Alcatraz in the early 80s, mid-80s. I don't remember seeing those sea lions, so I had to look that up because they're always there now. And that's because they didn't show up until about 1989 or 1990 when there was an earthquake. And a few of them showed up and found a spot where there were no sharks and people fed them food. Called all their friends and said, hey, you got to try this out, and I don't think they've left ever since. Although I think they disappeared for a year. I'm not sure their current status. There's the ferry boat. We got to watch out for them. In any event, every time I've gone there, I've smelled them or seen them. Well, let's see if we can get a nice close look at them. There they are. So I think the harbor owners, or I'm sorry, the marina, the people with the boats in the marina got frustrated by them. They were in the water, they were in the way, so they built those platforms for them. They tried to get rid of, but that was never going to happen, not in San Francisco. And I don't care who those people are. Now you got to imagine a boat in this little dock, this little bay area, or what the hell's the word I'm looking for? Let's call it a marina. There's got to be some people that are used to getting their way on just about everything. So but the boats are still there and the sea lions are still there, so I guess they worked it all out. And I mentioned up the coast there, the marina where the don't have the sea lions, their rent probably went up. It became a somewhat more desirable place to be. This part I have to kind of concentrate on. I am not very good at this. go see that bridge again. Look at that sky. Look at the light. I want to go see that. Take another look at that right quick. Won't take long. There you go. Look at that. That might be why they call it the Golden Gate. I'm going to have to look it up. I love Wikipedia for this kind of thing, but there. I'd be willing to bet at this point. That was known as, it's the Golden Gate Bridge because the Golden Gate was already there. I mean, that's how people got to California. You know, they'd take ships all the way down. Even before the Panama Canal, they went down around to South America, which is dangerous as hell, and they'd come back up here. I mean, it must have taken quite a while, been extraordinarily uncomfortable and expensive. The other choice was, of course, to walk. So this was the gate to Golden, California. The Gold Nugget State or whatever. I mean, the gold rushes and all that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. All right, well, enough of my rambling. Let's get this thing on the ground. And get you back in the gift shops in time to get yourself a ceramic omelet. Oh, don't mention that on Yelp. For love. That really was a neat tour, all the way down to the engine room, and I mean up on the bridge, pretending you're the captain. Hardly anybody on the thing. It's just an amazingly good deal. Highly recommended. Now, there's a lot of climbing, and they're not always stairs. They can be ladders, or ladders that aspire to be stairs someday. So there is a lot of climbing, and that's true of the submarine as well. They're very cramped quarters, so it's. Go in knowing that. The submarine's not as bad. You go down one and up another. You're in and out. The Jeremiah O'Brien, there's a lot of climbing. Can't remember what I paid for that. I mean, at most I would have paid $8. So I guess I would have sprung for 12 if I was on expenses. I mean, I was getting free food, so but I don't know. It wasn't expensive. Moved in. I don't know if I right there. Name sounds familiar. Of course, this is still Fisherman's Wharf. I've been up and down here. I would have seen it for sure. Okay, a little rough. Sorry about that. Okay, let's shut her down. And I'm not going to turn off the lights until the rotors have stopped. And I'm going to stop the rotors. Rotor brake. Probably violated some kind of regulation or rule. And off. Oops, turn that back on. Off. Okay, I believe that is it. We're done.